Okay, here we're asked to find the indicated function values for the function below given by f of x equals 2x minus 5 over x minus 2. Although this is part of a bigger problem, I selected 3 of the parts of the problem to do on this problem. So let's start with finding f of 0. And what the function notation means here is that for the function named f, we're going to be plugging in x equals 0 into our function. So here's how we do that. I'm going to take f of x. F of x was given by the formula 2x minus 5 divided by x minus 2. And everywhere I see an x, I'm going to replace it with some parentheses. So 2 parentheses minus 5 divided by parentheses minus 2. Now what I put into those parentheses will depend on what is in the parentheses in the question. Since part A, they're asking us to find f of 0, that means I'm going to plug in x is equal to 0 throughout that problem. So all of my parentheses that were the x's, I'm going to replace with zeros. And now I just have to use order of operations to simplify. So let's see, this was f of 0. 2 times 0 is 0. So 0 minus 5 is negative 5 in the numerator. And in the denominator, 0 minus 2 is negative 2. And the only way that's going to simplify is a negative divided by a negative is positive. So I have f of 0 equals 5 halves. Now most books just have you finish right here and use that 5 halves as your answer. In my classes, I always like to go one step further, write this as an ordered pair. Remember the x value that we plugged in at the beginning was x equals 0. And the y value, or the function value, which we got out at the end, was 5 over 2. Okay, let's go to the next problem. So same exact game. The only thing that's new is I'm going to be plugging in a different x value. So in this one, I'm going to be plugging in x equals negative 1. That's what that notation means. So this is what I do. I like to do every problem as much as possible the same way. F of x is given by the formula 2x minus 5 over x minus 2. So everywhere I see an x, I'm going to replace it with parentheses. 2 parentheses minus 5 over parentheses minus 2. That way, depending on what is inside the parentheses in the question, in this case negative 1, is what I can replace inside all of my parentheses. All right, and then just like in the last problem, now we just have to simplify. So f of negative 1 is equal to, let's see, multiply first. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 5. And then in the denominator, negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. So f of negative 1 is equal to negative 7 over negative 3. And again, similarly to the last problem, this simplifies to f of negative 1 equals 7/3. Or, so that's usually the answer. If you have to write it as an ordered pair, the x value that we plugged in was the negative 1, and the y value that we got out was 7/3. Okay, now for the hard one. F of a plus h. Same exact idea, it's just the x value that we're going to be plugging in is nasty. X we're going to be plugging in this one is a plus h. So let's stay consistent. Our function was f of x. It's given by 2x minus 5 over x minus 2. And we're going to be plugging in something into those x values. So I'm going to put some parentheses there. 2 parentheses minus 5 over parentheses minus 2. The only thing that's different here is the ugliness of what we're plugging in. So I had an a plus h in the parentheses, and that's going to get swapped out for the x's in all of my problem. All right, now let's clean that up. So I've got f of a plus h is equal to, let's see, in the numerator, looks like we can distribute the 2 through. So that will be 2a plus 2h minus 5. In the denominator, since the subtraction sign here is on the outside of the parentheses, there's no distributing to do, and behind the parentheses, I should say. No distributing to do, so really this just becomes a plus h minus 2. Now, as much as it might be tempting to cancel the a's and the h's in the numerator and in the denominator, those addition and subtraction signs are preventing us from doing that. So we're finished. This is our answer. Now, I usually don't make my students write this thing out as an ordered pair because it's pretty ugly, but if you had to, the x value we plugged in was a plus h, and that big gigantic y value that we figured out, 2a plus 2h minus 5 all over a plus h minus 2 will go in the y position.